right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Stealing from Scouts. Tonight, the message to the thieves who raced off with a Cub Scout pack's Pinewood Derby track.
Right now, snow showers and flurries are moving out, but the clouds linger. I'm tracking when the sky clears and what changes come our way this weekend.
Wrongfully convicted, now finally free after nearly 30 years in prison.
I'm feeling great. Excited about life. I'm happy to be out.
Tonight, Lamar Johnson sits down with 5 on Your Side 48 hours after a judge vacated his murder conviction.
Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Tonight, our Laura Barczewski got a chance to sit down with Lamar Johnson one-on-one to talk about his fight to prove his innocence and life after prison. Laura?
Mike and Ann, it was an amazing day for Lamar Johnson when a judge threw out his murder conviction. But it was a long, hard, nearly 28 years to get there. He's now happy to finally be with his family, but there are still some challenges.
In 1995, Lamar Johnson's life changed forever. He was convicted of murdering his friend, Marcus Boyd, and sentenced to life in prison, all for a crime he didn't commit.
It was scary, but at the same time, I've always been hopeful.
Hopeful that someone would see the truth, he went down every legal avenue to prove his innocence, but every appeal was denied. But then a law was changed that gave him one more shot in court, and that's where Judge David Mason gave him a new lease on life.
For the benefit of Lamar Johnson is granted.
Not only did he say, that there's constitutional error, but that I was actually innocent. And so that really mattered to me.
Do you want to tell people now, again, you didn't do this, that you were innocent?
I did not do this. I did not do this. I loved Marcus. He's a good friend of mine. He was there for me. We were there for each other at difficult times in our life, and I'll always hold on to that.
I just feel blessed.
His family stood by him and never doubted his innocence. Johnson's daughter, Kiera Barrow, never knew him outside of a prison cell, as she was only a few months old when he was locked up.
It's been a very traumatizing experience, and so we're just, there's no way to give us back the time and, the life experiences that we were robbed of.
And now to be able to spend time with him, you have some pretty big milestones coming up yourself.
Yes.
Talk about how important that is for you.
It's extremely important. I'm getting married in this April, and so this is going to be one of the most important days of my life. And because we have been robbed of so much, it means a lot that he's going to be there to walk me down the aisle. I'm sorry, I'm getting so emotional. I never thought that this day would come.
To be able to give my daughter away, just to be there would be more than anything I can ever describe.
How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling great. Excited about life. I'm happy to be out.
Now Johnson is trying to find a place to live and a job. Mike and Ann, he says it's a whole different world now.
And as he adjusts to the different world and being a free man, is there anything that was particularly shocking or surprising for him?
Well, Ann Johnson tells me he's learning how to use a smartphone and how to text. He says nearly 30 years ago he was using a pager. And one other thing he commented on was how different all the cars look now.
Yeah. All right, Laura, thank you very much. You can watch Laura's entire interview with Lamar Johnson right now on KSDK.com, the 5 on Your Side YouTube page, and on 5+, which is available on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. New tonight, Ferguson Police Chief Frank McCall is resigning after less than 2 years on the job. The city made the announcement about 3 hours ago, thanking him for his service. McCall took over the department in the summer of 2021. He served in the neighboring Berkeley Police Department for nearly 27 years, 8 of them as chief. McCall will step down next week. The city has named Captain Harry Dilworth as interim chief.
Tonight, Maryland Heights police are looking for the thieves who stole a Boy Scout troop's trailer and Pinewood Derby equipment. New tonight, our Robert Townsend has the surveillance video of the crime that happened at a church.
Two desperate thieves caught on camera committing a bold crime in the back parking lot at Maryland Heights Church of Christ.
It was all locked up.
The church's security cameras were rolling around 7 Tuesday night when police say the men pulled up in a light Chevy Blazer and stole a trailer that belonged to Boy Scouts Troop 283.
That trailer in particular, this troop has had parked here for 10 years.
The heartless crime happened on Valentine's Day.
To come into a church on a holiday and steal something that belongs to a Boy Scout troop, I mean, I can't even imagine the mindset.
Okay, so listen to this. In just 8 minutes, the thieves pulled into this church's parking lot, backed up their vehicle, stole the trailer, and then took off. The cruel criminals also took off with everything inside the trailer, including a laptop, a printer, a projector, and other items, all part of the troop's Pinewood Derby equipment, valued at $7,500. Troop 283's 8 scouts, who are 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, were looking forward to running a Cub Scout PAX Pinewood Derby on Wednesday. This video is from a big competition last year.
We were all there in uniform, all ready to go.
But now their future plans are off track.
It's just heartbreaking.
Heartbroken troop leaders, parents, and people at this church hope the slick scoundrels who stole from scouts on sacred grounds remember what these boys stand for and have a change of heart.
We can at least reclaim that track and everything, then, I mean, that would be huge for us.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
A GoFundMe page is set up to help the Boy Scouts troop try to replace their trailer and the equipment. For more information, look at this story in the As Seen on TV section at KSDK.com. Tonight, police are looking for those responsible for a rolling gun battle in a North St. Louis County subdivision. Those bullets came flying through a home on Whitehopped Road near Patterson. Tonight, a 9-year-old girl is recovering after being hit by debris. Her mother is calling for the senseless violence and disregard for life to come to an end.
Your child is asleep, waking up out the sleep, blood. It was a massacre in her room. Bullets has no name. Bullets have no face and no shame.
The girl suffered a fracture in her arm. Police are investigating. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. 866-371-TIPS.
Right now, Missouri lawmakers are considering whether to incorporate the Crown Act into state law.
The measure prevents discrimination against a person's natural hair texture or style in the workplace or school. Brent Solomon joins us now to explain how the conversation is gaining momentum. Brent?
It sure is. CROWN stands for Create a Respectful and Open Workplace for Natural Hair. The move to make it state law stalled in the Senate last year. Missouri lawmakers are revisiting it now. Today, people gathered in Florissant to say hair doesn't define who you are.
Ivory Hill loves her job, serving guests at the Florissant Valley Library.
We're going to pick up a book.
She also loves the freedom she has to wear her hair the way she chooses. Too often, she says many women like her have taken other routes in the workplace.
I went from relaxers to protected hair, like the weaves, the sew-ins, the wigs.
All to feel validated.
It just seems like people associated my straight hair with beauty.
Her views have changed.
And when you're judging my hair, I think you're judging me and my choices.
It's why she helped organize this Black History Month conversation at the library Thursday. People celebrating the freedom of expression through hair.
Today we're going to have a deep dive into our natural hair journey.
It comes as President Biden has expressed his support for making the Crown Act a national law. Last year, Illinois incorporated the Crown Act into state law. Minnesota just approved it. In 2021, St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones made it a city law. Next week, a Missouri House committee will take up the issue.
But sometimes, especially for work, it was like, I'm wearing this hair for everyone else.
Now, 31-year-old Brianna Isom Brummer has ditched the straight look for dreadlocks.
To be authentic to myself and to my, the love for my hair, that's part of it, is for it to be sometimes a little frizzy, a little out of the norm. I don't really care at this point, if people think it's presentable or not, because I love the way that my hair looks, and I think that it looks perfect, and it's always looked professional in my eyes.
Women with natural hair should be celebrated. It should not be a discussion. It's just hair.
Right now, the soap brand Dove has created an online form to fill out if you'd like to have your lawmakers consider adopting the Crown Act into law. To visit it, visit this story on KSDK.com.
For more information on Black History Month events around St. Louis, text the word history to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a list. Don't miss 5 on Your Side's Black History Month special on Sunday. We continue our series Race, Listen, Learn, Live, this time listening to teenagers. Join us Sunday at 11 a.m. on 5 on Your Side or on our 5 Plus app, which is available on Roku or Amazon Fire TV.
Tonight, the baseball world is remembering former St. Louis Cardinal and Hall of Fame broadcaster Tim McCarver. He died today at the age of 81 from heart failure. McCarver was a 2-time World Series champion. The former catcher played in St. Louis for 12 seasons and was the favorite battery mate of both Bob Gibson and Steve Carlton Hall of Fame pitchers. The Cardinal Hall of Famer later joined the broadcast booth where he teamed with St. Louis and Jack Buck and later Joe Buck for a record 17 seasons. Sports director Frank Cusimano will have more on McCarver's career later in sports.
It promises to put the brakes on skyrocketing car thefts.
If it works, it's still not going to unring that bell.
Tonight, class action attorneys tell the I-Team why Hyundai and Kia's fix is too little, too late. Beer, beads, and hurricanes. Soulard is gearing up for a big Mardi Gras celebration. The #1 rule organizers hope everyone follows.
The weather roller coaster continues, and we're in that chilly dip right now. When temperatures rebound, and how long before the next storm system heads our way?
New reaction tonight. Lawyers for Kia and Hyundai drivers are telling the automakers to do better.
They're not happy with Hyundai and Kia's promise of software upgrades to make these cars harder to steal. In an I-Team exclusive, they tell our Christine Byers these fixes, they don't end their legal battle.
This fix is too little, too late.
Matthew Van Fleet is an attorney representing more than 1,000 Hyundai and Kia drivers. They're suing the automakers, calling the Fiegels defective because they don't have immobilizers which can help stop cars from being stolen. He says promised software upgrades unveiled by both companies this week are not enough.
But they're not committing to the liability that they face.
Van Fleet says the automakers should issue a recall to prove this upgrade is effective. Then they could be held accountable by the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration.
For the first time, we're seeing a slight hedge. They are acknowledging that indeed there is a problem.
A problem that he says has cost his clients too much.
These victims of these thefts are facing thousands and thousands of dollars in repair bills. And this fix does nothing to redress those damages. The value of the cars is plummeted. This fix, if it works, is still not going to unring that bell.
The promise of a software upgrade comes weeks after insurance companies, including Progressive, announced they'd no longer cover Hyundai and Kia drivers.
How much of a role did the lawsuits and the announcements from insurance companies have to do with Kia's decision to do this?
Oh, none whatsoever. We were already working on this going back better part of a year ago.
James Bell is a spokesman for Kia.
No car can be made theft-proof. Any vehicle sat anywhere from any brand in any city is exposed to theft.
Your cars in particular, I mean, the percentage increases in the thefts of them are in the thousands.
Oh yes, we're very aware, and that's why we've really, built this solution that is very robust, will address the problem directly.
The fix includes putting stickers on the windows to warn thieves.
Do you really think that putting 2 stickers on windows is going to stop someone from trying to break in the car and steal it anyway?
Absolutely, I do, because a thief sees anything that's going to possibly delay them. They want to be in and out as fast as possible.
Van Fleet says his clients aren't convinced.
Virtually every other country in the world mandates that engine immobilizers are used in the manufacture of automobiles.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on Your Side.
A spokesperson for Hyundai Motor America declined our request for interviews. The company issued statements saying its vehicles meet federal motor vehicle safety standards and are not defective.
Tonight, the city of St. Charles is down to one drinking water well. It's the 6th of 7 wells shut off since October when contaminants were first detected. Now the EPA is telling Ameren additional cleanup is needed. Just last week, federal agencies revealed that an Ameren substation was the source of contamination at the Elm Point well field. The EPA is holding a public meeting next week to share results of testing.
I want people to show up to the meeting and say, hey, EPA, how are you going to help our community? Ameren, what are you doing for our community? And from what I've seen so far, it's not enough.
That meeting will be next Thursday at 6 p.m. at the St. Charles Borromeo Parish. Ameren Missouri says it is committed to the safety of St. Charles residents and that it believes the EPA has not asked for or suggested that the city close any wells.
We are 36 hours away from St. Louis's biggest party, Soulard Mardi Gras. But before you come down on Saturday, organizers are asking you to please keep a few things in mind. First and foremost, do not drive down to Soulard. Many streets will be closed, parking is extremely limited, and it's for residents. Rideshare stands are set up at 13th and Russell and 10th and Marion. Metro, that's also an option. Organizers have another important request.
And I don't really like to say this, but please do not urinate in the streets. As Beth reminded everyone, there are 1,500 portable restrooms throughout the neighborhood. If you need a restroom and you can't find one, as Beth said, you're not looking for one.
Another reminder, no glass, plastic bottles, or cans will be permitted in Soulard. Outdoor alcohol sales will end at 7 p.m. on Saturday. The bars close at 11:30. The party starts Saturday at 11 a.m. with the Bud Light Grand Parade. There is a new route this year. The parade will step off at Broadway and Choteau. It'll head down South Broadway to Lynch Street.
And if the Mardi Gras celebration was held today, it would not have been a good day for a parade. But
we've got a good one.
Yeah, it's looking better for Saturday, isn't it?
This is what you would have ended up with, especially this evening when we had that little burst of snow showers slide into the St. Louis area. Gusty winds this evening. We had some light rain then mixed with a little sleet, and then you kind of had that little wave of snow showers come through, reducing the visibility briefly at Lambert, but not enough to accumulate. And there's really not much left on the radar screen tonight around the St. Louis area. There's still a couple of little blips and a little snow shower here or there, but the trend has been for this area to decrease, and the clouds are still here, but that trend is going to be towards clearing as we head towards daybreak. You see that little patch of snow showers drifting through the St. Louis area. Looks like the back edge of the clouds getting into northwest Missouri right now. Certainly a lot colder as you go up into parts of Nebraska and Iowa with fresh snow on the ground. Some of those places up there in the single digits. Here are all the thunderstorms. They stretch from near Washington, D.C. down towards Atlanta to about New Orleans, but they've really weakened a lot during the afternoon and evening hours, which is a good thing. So overnight tonight, we think we'll stay mostly cloudy. There could be some clearing trying to nudge in as you head up towards Troy, back towards Warrenton and Herman, up through Bowling Green, towards daybreak, and that clearing will spread across the area. But it's a cold start for us tomorrow. Temperatures in the 20s out the door, and we're back into the mid to upper 30s tomorrow afternoon. Now, the thing is, we'll still have a bit of a breeze tomorrow. So those wind chills, they're in the low to mid-teens out the door early, but back to about 32 during the afternoon hours. Of course, we do have the Mardi Gras Grand Parade coming up on Saturday. Kicks off at 11. At 10 o'clock, it'll be about 45. We start with sunshine, but then clouds start rolling in. And by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it should be mostly cloudy on Saturday, but warmer. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Sunday, how about this? Plenty of sunshine and close to 60 degrees for your high temperature come Sunday afternoon. That's pretty good. Our high today was 41. Low temperatures pretty much where we are right now, right around 33 degrees in St. Louis. We will see clearing from late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then a bright sunny sky tomorrow afternoon. 38 your high, but beyond that, everything else is at or above average temperature-wise heading through the weekend, looks like into next week. It will be dry this weekend. Clouds will roll in for Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. They're out by Sunday. Monday's President's Day, so Monday and Tuesday still mainly dry, still mild, close to 60. Slim chances for any rain. The better chance looks to be right now on Wednesday, but we're still on the warm side of all the systems next week, the way it looks at this point. So above average here as we head towards the end of February.
Beautiful weekend. And we've had so many nice Sundays, it seems like lately.
A lot of nice Sundays.
That's because we have to work on Sunday.
That's probably true. All right, Scotty, thanks. Frank, what's coming up?
We are talking Tyler O'Neill, Tiger Woods, a look back at Tim McCarver, plus the Blues and Devils. Stick around, please.
The Sports Desk is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years running.
Look, you win 2 in a row, it's not a big deal. But if the Blues were to make it 3 in a row tonight and beating one of the best teams in hockey in the Devils, well, you better start noticing. Let's go to Enterprise. Late first period, Ryan O'Reilly will shoot it, Ivan Barbashev, and then it's Pavel Buchnevich, and it's 1-0 Blues. Blues were really flying in the second. Colton Parayko with the shot, Nathan Walker with the hustle, and Alexei Toropchenko gives the Blues a 2-1 lead. And later, Braden Shen has the good sense to get the puck to the right man, Jordan Kyrou, his 25th. Right now, it's 3-2 Blues late in the third period. Perhaps no baseball analyst had a better broadcasting career than Tim McCarver. 23 straight World Series, worked for all 4 major networks, and won the Ford Frick Award. He passed away today in his hometown of Memphis. We claim him in St. Louis. He was a 2-time All-Star and a 2-time World Series winner for the Cardinals. In 1967, he finished second in the MVP race. And he was one of the few to ever play in 4 different decades. In 2017, McCarver was enshrined into the Cardinal Hall of Fame. Tim McCarver was 81. We sat down for many interviews. This one was 20 years ago. Your number one objective when you're in the booth, what are you trying to accomplish?
Trying to be honest, trying to be fair, but more importantly, I'm trying to set things up and set options up for the viewer. I mean, my responsibility, Joe Buck's responsibility, is to the viewer. And that's the one thing that I think ex-players have a very difficult time understanding, is once they finish playing, now their responsibility has changed. In uniform, your responsibility is to your team, to the team that hires you. And a lot of broadcasters, not a lot, but some, think that that responsibility to the team still exists. It doesn't.
Do you care what players think about you?
Not really. No.
Has it ever been difficult for you?
I don't really care about, the one motivating thing that I have when I do a game is if I'm satisfied after the game, generally speaking, that's what you want. That's what I want. I realize that there are going to be controversies surrounding certain things, particularly when you do playoff games, when you do World Series games. That's always going to happen. That's always going to be prevalent. People are going to, you're not talking from a biased voice, but people listen with biased ears. And you have to understand that whether it's a player, whether it's a family member of a player, a friend of a player, or a viewer who's rooting for his team, while I understand those things, it doesn't bother me.
Criticism and TV radio critics, they don't bother you either?
Radio critics? Radio critics criticizing television announcers? What do they know about television? Come on. Doesn't bother me at all. Everybody's got his critics.
Your book.
Why, do you have anything poignant?
Someone sees Tim McCarver up in the booth. What would you want somebody to say about him and your career as a broadcaster?
He's honest and he's fair.
He was one of a kind. When Tyler O'Neill is good, he's very good. Trouble is, injuries kept him from being good last year and in years past. So he's being proactive. He stayed in St. Louis over the winter, taking steps to stay off that injured list.
In terms of making sure my mobility's on point before I step into any training regimen, hip mobility, shoulder mobility, like we talked about, there's spine mobility, all this stuff, and I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now.
And that'll do it in sports.
That's a lot of fun. All right, Frank, thanks.
St. Patrick's Day falls on a work day this year. Well, you don't need the luck of the Irish to bail out of the office.
In honor of Black History Month, a mountain on the moon's South Pole has a new name. Mont Mouton is named after Melba Roy Mouton. She's considered a trailblazer for women of color in the space agency. Mouton was the head mathematician at NASA and led a group of people known as human computers during the 60s.
St. Patrick's Day is exactly 1 month from today. A survey found 61% of Americans feel guilty about taking the holiday off. Jameson has a solution. The Irish whiskey maker is selling desk decoys. For less than $18, you can get a life-size cardboard cutout of yourself. They say this will fool your boss. You can order yours now on Jameson's website. Even if $18, you just want to get one anyway. It's kind of fun.
You wanna cut out of yourself somewhere?
I would get one for a friend or your spouse. I think it's funny. You could use it in a lot of ways.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Super Bowl champion Travis Kelce is Jimmy's guest. Start your day with Janae in St. Louis at 4 a.m.
So much to say.